Tonight, hey, brother, can you?
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
If we talk about it, can we talk about it?
We're already talking about it.
Oh.
We're just talking about the expression thirst trap.
Oh, okay.
You should probably pick up your microphone. There you go.
Oh, are you recording?
We're
Always recording.
always recording.
Wait, were you recording what I just said?
Of course.
Wait, are you serious?
No.
I'm just getting levels. Just relax, everyone.
Don't panic. I got your back, lady.
Okay.
I think we're good.
See, I just heard found out what an incel was. And then you were talking about the expression thirst trap.
Yes.
Which refers to women who post suggestive
Anyone who posts
pictures
photograph or something suggestive
on social media
Yeah.
with their cleavage or whatever.
or bulge. Anthony Weiner.
What did you just say? Yeah, the Anthony Weiner. What a thirst trap. So I would assume an incel, which is an involuntary celibate, probably coined. Yeah, they're like murderous and stuff. I just read an article.
Oh, like the comic book guy on Simpsons. He's an incel.
Yeah, but these are people that are angry about it and going after women that are thirst traps. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now we're starting a podcast here at HomeStretch Foundation in Tucson, the sprawling estate in the heat of the summer. I think it was 107 yesterday. Catherine Bertine's dad told me.
Well, it was 96 in Bisbee.
And it's usually 10.
Yeah, we're at 5,000 feet there, so it's definitely hotter here. Great place.
Yeah, I like it.
It feels like a timeshare that spent no money on marketing. It's like like a shitty timeshare. Like the lights wouldn't be working.
Like the place we stayed in Costa Rica.
Yeah, like 20 years. But I mean, this thing is beautifully landscaped and everything works. But it's like they just, we're going to flyer the neighborhood and we got some social media stuff we're going to put out. And until then, enjoy the breakfast. You can have two.
The foundation puts up, women cyclists that are, struggling to make ends meet, starving artists of cycling, but they're done for the summer. So that's why I'm up here working on a project. We've probably been over this.
Yeah.
And Olivia Grace is with us.
Hey, that's me.
And she's also in Tucson working on a project. So
all these projects. Who knew?
Everyone's doing a project.
Yeah,
Even
great.
Bingo's doing a project right now.
What's Bingo working on? Can't say?
No, we can't say anything. But yeah, everyone's having fun, and we're not getting as much shit done as we should, but we're laying some groundwork.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm averaging like 2 days of not doing anything and 1 day of doing something.
Which is way better than me.
Yeah.
I've been here for 2 weeks. I got 17 pages, and I realized a lot of it I'm being a bit redundant.
Does that include doodles?
That would be Bingo's project. But she's taking it real serious. She's got a great project that actually a fan sent me some stuff, and he had an idea which he glossed over, and I go, that's a great idea. Where he didn't, in his own telling, he missed the idea that he was telling me to do. And I go, I'm doing the one that you're... It involves Bert Kreischer on some level. But yeah, it's a perfect thing for Bingo to do.
Is it eating? Or preparing food? Because he's got that thing with all things comedy. In the kitchen or whatever. No, that's Henry.
No, Henry's got a cooking show, and Bert Kreischer, I think, has a cooking podcast.
Yeah, something's burning.
Yeah, something's burning.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's good. He did one by the pool. I just remember hot dogs ended up in the pool.
I'm sure his wife's happy about that.
There was a hot dog explosion.
I was just of the ladies that I know, Bingo and Bertine and Javelina, like, oh, the other night, I texted Olivia saying, "Hey, how you doing today? You writing anything?" She goes, "No, I think I have to hang it up for the day. Nothing." And I go, "I'm in the same place." This is the other night, Stanley Cup Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
I go
Wednesday.
Yeah, so I go, why don't you just come over here and we'll get drunk and talk shit, because I'm doing nothing either.
Yeah.
And we were up till 7 in the fucking morning.
We talked for 12 hours straight. It was really fun. I needed that though. That was really fun.
So did I.
Yeah, I was in kind of a dark place when you texted me because I wasn't getting anything done, and I was like, I guess I'll just
so
watch
was I.
Forensic Files all day, which is like doesn't help anything at all. It was just,
Yeah, and we needed to have a 12-hour talk. We've
Yeah.
never talked for, except for in comedy situations where there's a million people there.
yeah. Well, the first time I met you, we talked like late into the morning because
Oh, you and Eric were stopping over, going either east or west on a tour.
we were going to East. Yeah.
And I remember you were up until all hours of the morning, and Eric was forced to drive, I think, to Albuquerque or El Paso.
No, we were going all the way to Lubbock.
Oh my God!
yeah.
I knew it was somewhere far.
Oh, in the Funhouse, I remember that.
Yeah, because it was like Eric and I had to be in Lubbock for a show
Next day,
the next day, and he went to bed around 1, and then I was like, I'll be right in there. And then you and I were like, we should have a nightcap. And then after, at about like 4 in the morning, you were
How
like,
do you like
I don't,
your eggs?
I don't think, you were like, I don't think you're going to sleep. And then Eric woke up at 5 and saw us talking. And we were both so drunk, we could barely stand up. And Eric was so mad that he was like sober at 5 in the morning, having to drive me while I sleep.
I'm not going to go down this path, but I remember what had to be, if it wasn't then, it has to be now. It was a Me Too conversation, because I'm sure every female comic who has a male comic friend has to have this fucking discussion. And I remember that was mostly what we were talking about that night.
I think that's how it started. Yeah, it was the theme of the night because I think it was right around the time the Me Too movement had started. And like, yeah.
Eric's another comic.
Yeah,
And
Eric Friedman.
You guys toured, and that was the first time you guys had come out. And
Yeah.
I guess usually you guys split the driving.
Yeah.
just
We
not to
split the
Lubbock?
drive. Yeah, not to Lubbock, which was the hardest drive. It was
Yeah.
like 12 hours or something ridiculous like that. But I don't know. I think he understood. I think he wasn't mad at me. He was just mad that it was 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like,
I told her this morning, I never talk when I'm driving because I'm always fixated on, someone running a red light.
Crossing the double yellow.
This was us that had this discussion, right?
nope. Wait,
No.
maybe. It's possible.
You're the only person that I feel comfortable with you behind the wheel. That wasn't you? Wasn't that this morning?
I have no idea.
Where I'm not always...
Did she drive you anywhere?
No, when I was driving...
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it was Bertine on the phone or something. I don't know. But you said, yeah, you're the only person I don't have to watch their driving while they're driving. Like you're a backseat driver most of the time.
Oh.
Yeah, that was you. It had to be you. I haven't really talked to anybody.
Okay. Maybe it was. I was really out of it this morning.
Yeah, and you asked me at breakfast, are you okay? Because this is how I would be if you had a problem. I go, no, in the morning I don't talk.
Oh,
and
okay.
especially behind the wheel, because I am always in a position where I think someone is about to drive into me. I'm hitting imaginary brakes in an Uber.
I remember now. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just out of it today because I woke up and it was like the first time sober in 48 hours. So I was just overly self-aware. It was just that thing where I woke up and I just felt like everyone I've ever met hated me, and so I was just being weird all day.
But I do the same
Right.
thing, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad we had that conversation. But,
me too.
But yeah, I have that same paranoia, but you have this paranoia about being murdered.
Oh yeah, I sure do. I'm getting a lot better about it though. I think
I wish there was a way. The only time I feel like we're missing, the listener is missing something for us not being on video is when she has that smile on her face.
yeah.
Because
No.
you stayed over here the first night I got here because we all went to that comedy show.
Yeah.
And
Was it Amy Miller show? Or was it Andy?
no, it was Andy. And you were saying, yeah, I think you guys are going to murder me, like Brendan Walsh in the desert. And then when she came over for Game 7 night, which we didn't watch, it was just that night, is how I remember it. She goes, yeah, I'm terrified of being murdered. Like, when I was saying that to you guys, I said it like I was kidding, but I was just saying it to let some of the pressure off of thinking it.
Yeah, I get really paranoid sometimes. I don't know why, because I know it's not real, but I still think about it in like a but what if kind of way. And it's like, really the logic behind it is if I did get murdered, I would feel really dumb. I'd feel really dumb for walking right
But you
into
called it.
You know?
You called it.
But I called it.
Told you.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's just a really extreme version of feeling like people don't like you. You know what I mean?
That's extreme.
Yeah.
They don't like me so much that they want to murder me.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm getting really good at not listening to
Saying it?
Yeah, or not. I still say it sometimes, but yeah, I get. I've gotten a lot better about it.
Wow, I haven't seen one of these since 1981.
Oh, the lighter leash?
It's a lighter on a keychain.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like sort of, I don't believe it, but it's still a concern sometimes. You know what I mean? Where it's not like, I'm sure people are going to murder me. It's just, if they did, that would be really bad. You know?
Most people think so.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as I fixate on someone in traffic. Like, I'm a very conscious driver. I'm paranoid about, like, being too close to someone's bumper because I know they might be an asshole like me, or worse, a Chad Shank that's going to flip out, or just someone inattentive and swerving into my lane, and I picture every car coming into
Sam
my
Kinison
lane.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no way I can avoid this. And so, yeah, it makes sense. And now you have a million other paranoias too, but that's one.
Well, when I first started driving, well, you got to a point where you couldn't drive anymore, and then I had to drive, which was job security. And you've made me more attentive because you are constantly, you're vigilant, like the entire, no matter how hungover you are in the front seat, vigilant. And only the last
Whoa,
year,
whoa, whoa,
I think
whoa, whoa.
2017, I think, was the first time you actually fell asleep on the way to a gig. And it was probably one of those 500-mile.
Oh, as a passenger.
As a passenger, yeah. Because, and then that's also when you freaked out going over the Mississippi.
Yeah, I had a panic attack. It was booze shakes, but
while going over the Mississippi River.
Oh, man.
On a bridge that has, like,
there's
you can
no
look down
breakdown
and
lane.
see the water. It's like a steel mesh. So
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's freaky.
Yeah.
I have to usually drive in the number one lane in the center so he can't see over the edge.
Okay.
And then he was driving, and then I had to hold. I was asleep. No, I was editing, and I heard a
Earplugs
commotion. So I have headphones in, and I'm editing in the front seat, and I'm hearing this commotion. What the fuck? I'm looking, and I see him shaking, and he's looking straight ahead, he's going, grab the wheel, grab the wheel, grab the wheel. And so I had to finally pull the headphones on. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's serious as fuck, right? And I grabbed the steering wheel, and then he just continues on, and then we pull into a parking lot as soon as we get off the bridge, and then I drove the rest of the way.
Oh, man. That's scary. I don't like bridges either. Like, bridges are tall overpasses. I get the same way. And then if someone's a passenger, they'll be like, oh, do you want me to drive over? And I'm like, no, I'll feel worse. Because now at least if I'm doing it, I'm in control of...
You're going to murder me.
Yeah.
But I got physically incapacitated to stop.
Wow.
Where
In a car full of people. There's 4 of us in the car.
That's so scary.
Yeah, I didn't drive for a while after that. Like months, unless it was around town.
No,
And I also
you
stopped
didn't even go to Tucson.
drinking. Yes, I stopped drinking heavily. If I had to drive, I'd go, oh, I have to drive. This is a Xanax night. But yeah, I haven't had the booze shake since I've been up here. It's fucking calm up here. It's hot as fuck, and I love it. I love sweating. Olivia, not so much. You, not so much about the heat.
But I'll take it over, like, cold weather, though.
I'm talking about, my exercise regimen, which has gone to shit since Bertine went out of town.
Yeah.
There's
Well, I
no
mean, I
peer
don't like
pressure.
walking in the heat or doing anything. But I can tolerate it. But
You wouldn't even agree to the pool
Oh, yeah, that's right.
until it was the sun was going down.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you tan? Or are you a sunburn freak? Or
I don't tan on purpose.
But do you tan like physically, or do you just get sunburned like a ginger?
No, I'll sunburn for a day and then it turns into a tan.
What's your, do you know your heritage?
Yes.
Because I know you and Chaille are both adopted.
Yeah.
Chaille said you guys had a conversation in Vegas where like 3 of you all talked about being adopted, and you all spent turns not trying to burst into tears about it.
I think I was the first one out.
Yeah.
It was pretty late, and
so drunk.
Olivia and I were at the bar talking. It was probably 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And 2 guys come up, and they're fans of the podcast, and they were at the show and everything, and they were polite. And the one guy, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Jason and Lucas is what we've.
Yeah, I think
probably
that's
the names.
Yeah.
But Jason, he has an adopted kid, and he said that listening to any time that we've talked about me being adopted, my birth mom and stuff like that, it really helped him, because it helped him understanding what his kid might be going through and stuff like that. It was very interesting. And then that's when Olivia goes, "Hey, I was adopted," and then that's when we all got into talking about it. And it was yeah.
But you thought, what did you think he said initially when he came up to you? He had adopted.
I thought he was talking to, "Hey, I adopted too," and I thought he was talking about a dog.
Because he said,
and I'm all, "Hey, good for you."
And Chaille says, "Well, I'm a rescue, so I know what it's like."
And I think what happened was I didn't show any kind of expression as I did when I found out what he was talking about, and I just kind of blew it off. It's like, "Oh yeah, well yeah, that's good. Those animals, they need help, and it's a kind heart that can do that, sir. Now let me talk to Olivia." And then it turned into like, and then she's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy, and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "I think he said like a kid adopted." I had to go recant and go, "Dude, I'm so sorry. What did you say again?"
Yeah, because he said he'd adopted a daughter, and you thought he said dog.
Hey, come on, man! Like 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah, no, I think the sun had already come up. I think it was like 6.
How would you know in Vegas?
Yeah, it was. Well, it is because only the 4 of us were there, which they'll clear out around 4. So
it was really fun.
Well, what time are we at? Because I want to continue this conversation. But the cat, I have to teach her. She's in the window crying, and I've taught her the cat door. I was so fucking excited.
Keep saying that, but the cat has never walked outside of a door except the human door.
Go around, idiot. Go around.
Olivia, see that? He pointed at the cat and made a motion like, "No, that's a window. Go to the left. Your other paw."
Do you remember really, really, like, early that morning, we had all had that, like, vulnerable moment with that guy, and we were all, like, having, like, a adopted moment. And then that morning, you were already in your room with Brett and Tracy, and I was so drunk, I thought it would be really funny to knock on the door. Do you remember this?
No.
Oh, my God.
Wait, the between rooms?
Yeah, when you were
because you were staying in a room next to us.
Yeah, I was staying in the room next to you, and I heard you guys were still talking, so I was like, maybe this is good judgment, and I knocked on the door, and you opened it right away, and you were like, "This better be important," and I went, "Your birth mom never loved you," and then I went into I went into my room, and I was like, I thought about it the next day, and I was like, that was not funny, Olivia, like this.
I slammed the door, and I turn around at Brett, and I go, "I'm gonna murder her."
Break?
Yeah.
Cocktails.
Cocktails.
Good enough.
Cocktails. I love that Bisbee was voted the #1 small historic town in America by the USA Today. I just hate the fact that they don't have books here.
Or music.
Or meatloaf.
What the fuck are you talking about? There's a place called Bisbee Books and Music in the fucking Convention Center Mall. You fucking moronic shit, Gibbon. How can anyone miss it? There's only like 3 places to go in Bisbee, and only 2 of them are worthwhile.
There really are books?
And music?
What about meatloaf?
It's next to a fucking restaurant called The Table, which none of us like to go to, but I'm sure it sells meatloaf to all the fucking paps who come here looking for some sort of healing experience that isn't as expensive as fucking Sedona, okay?
So what you're telling me is we can get books
And music?
and meatloaf?
All in one-stop
Yeah,
shopping?
Yes. You can go there and get all that shite in the fucking convention center and then go back to the fucking Copper Queen and tell everyone you had a great time.
And there's valet parking?
No! What the fuck? Valley parking. It's not the fucking Ivy, you fucking turd monkey. No! There's no valley parking. You walk there like a normal human being, like Europeans, like pedestrians.
So I bet there's no chance they have Doug Stanhope's Digging Up Mother autographed at the Bisbee Books and Music.
Of course they fucking have it. He's the only local celebrity. Everyone else is fucking dead or dying.
Well, there we have it. I guess tomorrow we're going to race right out to get books.
Music.
And meatloaf.
Yeah, fucking do that. Support local businesses, you ungrateful wretches.
All right, we're back. We're talking about your drunken adoption conversation in Vegas when we did the filming a ways back, and I just wanted to mention on the drive home, the hotel manager drove us home. I don't think I've talked about this.
The hotel manager from where?
The Plaza Hotel, 1 Fremont Street, or 1 Main Street. 1 Main Street.
In the Fremont district.
Our old haunt. Again, I said it in the special, but it was the first time I've played a place that I had gone to as a customer for long before I even did stand-up comedy. When I moved to Vegas the first time, the Plaza, and over the years, Becker and I would go to the Plaza. There's that fucking cat in the goddamn window.
Same spot.
I know.
Don't know door.
So on the drive home, I said, well, they picked us up in a limo. They should be taking us out in a limo. I'm not calling it Uber, so I called the front
drive
desk.
to the airport, not
Yeah,
home.
to the airport to go home.
I
to
drove
get out of
home.
there. So to get in there, they sent a limo, and they go, I'm so consumed with getting an Uber. I go, no, they brought us here in a limo. They'll take us out. So I called the front desk. Hey, can you have our car ready at 1:30 or whatever it was? And they go, yeah, no problem. And I went down, and there was no car out there. So I asked I'm in line at the front desk, and the manager knows who I am, and he comes over. Is everything okay? And I go, well, we had a car scheduled. Well, they had put me like on the shuttle list. And he goes, I'll make this right, sir. This is great. And so we're waiting outside for a while, and I go, watch this guy, the hotel front desk manager, comes around in his own Hyundai to drive us home because he's going to make this right for us. And he did, except he did have a Plaza car. He had a Suburban or whatever. But the front desk manager drove us himself. And I said, and I was doing it calculated. I said, the one thing I wish I'd asked for is one of those old vintage prints of the Plaza hotels that are in the room. I thought about stealing one, but I thought that's probably not a good idea. When you're staying in the place you love to play, you probably shouldn't steal artwork off the wall.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll get you one. And I had forgotten about it. And a month later, shows up, jammed into a tube, like he tore it off one of the
Like you would have done if you thought to steal
like he went. But he had been talking about the fact that the first night we did one show Friday, 2 Saturday to film, and he said I went to the first show Friday and I saw a couple people with Bibles in their hand, and I thought, that's weird. Those look like our Bibles. And he said he walked past the line on the second night. Half the people had Bibles in their hands. He's calling housekeeping, going, make sure there's Bibles in every room. They're stealing the Bibles. I had to explain to him our years-long grift of stealing and selling Bibles.
I love that guy gets it.
Well, I love the fact that he was more worried about people in a downtown casino in Vegas having Bibles when at some point all the water went out in the South Tower. I think you have
But everyone had a Bible.
Your priorities are skewed, sir. But that's what I love. Old Vegas. I love the plaza. It was one of the few times I didn't lose shitloads of money there because I was swarmed with fans. Like, oh, good. Yeah, filming here. Yeah, fans. Everyone who says, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, that gets me out of another losing spin on roulette. But it was very funny. And now we have the Union Plaza. When we have the construction done, will be somewhere, hopefully, in the backdrop of the podcast. Because, the plaza's great.
Yeah. That's great.
And it gave you a place to cry about being adopted. Did you do like a 23andMe?
No, I've met my whole birth family. So,
how?
When I turned 18, my birth dad reached out to me and said he was going to be in Orange County when I was still living there. And I went out and I met him and I met his son, my half brother. And I still stay in touch with my half brother. He's awesome. I haven't talked to my birth dad in a long time. And then Tom Goss and I at one point went out to Salt Lake City, Utah, which is where my birth mom was living at the time, but in a motel and on drugs. And I stayed with her sister. I told Tom at the time.
Wait, who's on drugs? You or birth mom?
Birth mom, but I was also on a bunch of Adderall and Coke too, so I guess the both of us. And
I told her last night. She said, yeah, I used to do Adderall and Coke, and I told her that line from my book where in Alaska I was on acid and mushrooms, and that's like having a pie full of cake. There's that smile again.
I love that line. That's so great.
After I read that in the book, I actually tried to make a pie into a cake. I call it a pake.
Aww.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of cake?
Well, I like white cake. Like
birthday cake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not an animal. And then I did a cherry pie in the middle. So it was a white cake on the outside with a cherry pie in the middle. The problem is that you've got to get the thickness of the cake to be substantial enough and firm enough that when you set a pie on, it doesn't just splurge it out and then get on top.
Oh,
so
I see.
there was a little. It wasn't completely equal all the way around. It was delicious.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But with the white cake, obviously with the cherry, it goes really well together.
That sounds great.
A cake.
A cake. Yeah. I don't even like cherry, but I would try that. Sounds good.
Well, it's sweet enough, and it goes with the white cake. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. You could do yellow cake too, but I think you'd do more of a chocolate or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or like a cream pie kind of situation.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Pies are way superior to cakes for celebrating anyway.
Think so?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Peach pie? A coconut
Peach
cream?
pie. We got a real pitch hitter. Sorry, it's a bingo song.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to try to get that fucking cat to use the cat
Yeah, I
door
know.
again. It was doing it. You saw it?
Yeah.
Well, we never saw it physically, but we saw the cat appear outside when there was no door open.
Because
Yeah.
there's an open window on the next level.
Yeah. Oh,
So
she
you
was
never
doing
did a
it.
23andMe, but you met,
Yes.
like, when
They contacted you.
Well, my birth dad contacted me, and then
How?
I think he got my number from my adoptive family.
All right.
That's a hard thing to process as the adoptive family, because my parents had a tough time with it.
Did they really?
It's one of the two times my dad had cried in front of me was when they were explaining that she was getting in touch with us. And we'd always celebrated our adoption day. I think it was October 10th. Because
wow.
that was the day that the adoption was finalized. But
Gotcha.
that was that time. I can't remember the other time, so I guess the only time I really remember. But
Were you adopted as a newborn or?
yeah,
Wow. Same.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was like pre-planned, like while she was pregnant.
Well, she was pregnant, and they were the way they did it back then. It was in the newspaper.
He's a twin, too.
Oh,
a
that's
twin.
right.
And she didn't know she was having twins until like 2 weeks before she was due.
Oh my.
So the attorney called my parents and said, "Hey, we got a bit of a snag. There's two in the oven," and my parents, like, they tried so for a couple years since they got married, and they just couldn't. They were just freaked out on having kids, and they said, "Oh my God, we have to find two bassinets," and that was their whole thing, you know. And they never even considered, like, not, going because the lawyer called to be like, so we can go with plan B or C, the two other gals that are, they're still very pregnant and still need it, and they've just got one, so it just ended up that way.
Wow.
And my brother didn't come home for a couple months because he was a blue baby, so then everything got kind of pushed back a little bit.
Holy shit.
Blue baby.
Umbilical cord around his neck. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so
but I've always known my family was totally open about it the whole time. We just didn't know until I was 23 is when she contacted us. But before she sent us birthday cards on our 23rd birthday, she sent a pre-card to my parents going, look, I'm going to send them a card. And yeah, my parents didn't take it so well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that? They just got it was a closed adoption, right? Or,
no.
No?
We always knew her name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just there was no contact.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my parents just freaked out because, like anyone would, they'd go like, "Oh, what's going on? Now I don't have the control. Are my kids gonna leave me? Or it's just a freaky thing." My mom worried about everything unnecessarily anyway. But
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, were your parents, do you think, at all jealous? Like, oh, if she's going to meet, or you, either one of you, they're going to meet their actual parents. Are they going to love their real parents more than us? Do you think there's any sense of that?
Probably on some level.
Absolutely. I think absolutely.
Yeah. My mom has always been really good about it, though. She always explained it to me. And, like, as I got older, it started to be more about, like, your birth mom is, like, in a bad place. And, she's, it's hard for her to want to, like, not to want to talk to you, but it's hard for her to contact you right now or write you letters anymore. And, like, she always did a really good job of explaining it in a way where I didn't take it personally, But, and so she's always been really, really good about that. So, but I do think, I'm sure on some level, there's some kind of, like, worry about, like,
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but who's out here right now?
Someone use the cat door?
Percy. Yes, good girl. Yeah, the cat can get out if it needs to.
The cat whisperer, Doug Stanhope.
Fucking Chaille realizes, because Bertine left, the cat stays in her house generally, but since she's here and she doesn't know how to use the cat door until I show up, and they had a cat door, but they never took the fucking lid off it to try.
That's a wall. It's a cat wall.
But the cat has a litter box down where I stay, and you're the one who noticed.
The grates, the air intake for the entire house AC system has a cat box in front of it. And like you're trying to smoke people out of the house. Like you put the cat in through the cat door, and you just wait out front. They'll be out.
Oh, my God. Bertine is so passive-aggressive. Like, at one point, she walked into where I'm staying at HomeStretch, and I'm sleeping with an eye mask on, but I've left all the lights on downstairs, which is like 48 lights. I'm doing a bingo. You know what she does at the quiet house, where there's like 1 million lights, and she has them all on during the day? Well, I'm doing that. And she only had to tell me once before I forgot again. So I forget my point. Yeah.
You went from cat box to eye mask.
And you were saying you'd left all the lights on, and Catherine was trying to tell you not to do that.
Yeah. She said, it's weird you sleep with the lights on, but you wear an eye mask. I go, yeah, I see what you're saying. Turn off the fucking lights.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say that once? Hey, turn off the fucking lights. I yell in the morning. You noticed I smile after I yell.
So you want her to be less passive-aggressive and more confrontational?
Yes, okay. I'm trying to train her the same way she's training me to do exercise and be fucking nice to people. I'm trying to tell her, I don't notice unless you fucking yell at me. and then smile afterwards.
Yeah, no, well, because I get like really scared when people are mad. And you do this where you like spill something and you'll swear at it and then you'll immediately like giggle at yourself. And it's so nice because it's like an emotional roller coaster from like, oh no, Doug's mad. Oh, okay, Doug thinks it's funny that he's mad.
Just kidding, Bertine. No one's spilling anything. No, that was just a joke.
But I have left the lights on several times outside. We have a thing. It's gonna get bug season. I'm here for the summer. I thought I would work on this project for June to see realistically if I can have it done before we're on the road in September.
Like the month of June would be your attempt at gauging how long the entire project is going to take.
Right.
Okay.
And right now I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I have to find a stride. I have to find a rhythm. Yeah, I have a bunch of notes that I took beforehand, but they don't come into play when you're in action.
Mm-hmm.
There's some Billy Ball going on here. So, yeah, I'll be up here for the whole summer. Yeah. I mean, I'll have to come down to Bisbee unless you just keep coming up here. Chaille came up and he brought all my mail and my boxes. And
well, I came up because I'm getting that plaza thing, the
That he deframed. You're reframing.
It's like an art thief went in and cut out the Mona Lisa. I mean, there's a little damage on the corners, but I mean, we can. I got a place
behind.
I got a place out here. We can take care of that, and then eventually.
So fucking good. Thank you, Plaza, so much. And you know what? While you're out there listening on a forklift, behind the wheel, still drunk from the night before. Yeah, make sure you find the Twitter account for the Plaza, which I think is
It'll be in the show notes. I've had
all right, it'll be in.
I just don't remember what it is.
Thank him for having me because I think we can do this regularly, where we can at least do Doug Stanhope and Friends, where I can host a show with Olivia Grace and Andy Andrist or Kristen Becker or Brett Erickson and Brendan Walsh and a million fucking people. We can just do this regularly and have fun in fucking Vegas.
I don't think they'd complain. Can I say this though?
You can say it because you edit it out if it needs to be.
But is it bad form to say in the showroom at the Plaza, gratuity is included? They don't point it out to you. It is included in your bill at the end when you run a tab in the showroom.
Yeah, but that shouldn't stop my fan base from over tipping because my fan base.
I'm just saying when I throw down money, I go, hey, I want to pay cash on the tip, and then I'll go, oh, gratuity's included, but that would be fine if you wanted. They just, just chuck dough.
This is important to know about a lot of places. Always, and I forget this most of the time, tip cash. Just put zero on. If you're paying with a credit card, put zero and tip cash, because a lot of the time that fucking staff is either splitting that gratuity or not getting it at all. Like a room service, especially. Yeah, fucking tip cash. Write zero in the tip. And then fucking tip cash.
Well, even when I found out on the third, after the third show, and I tipped over $70 on a $200 tab.
Do you know why? You know why? Because Chaille actually watched the shows.
3 shows I watched.
He wasn't working. I mean, he's always working.
Well, we did kick that one guy out.
Was that the last show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that dude was really howling at you. I mean, yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about this?
No, I was going to let her talk about it.
Yeah, no, that guy was just wooing at everything you said. Like, and I watched you and Hennigan go over and say something to him. And then he did it again, and you guys just calmly walked over there and then calmly walked him out. And it was really kind of a badass thing to watch. It was really cool.
Well,
did I see?
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
Except I didn't know he was being disruptive to that point. I was there and I heard him say "woot" like 2 times, like offbeat, not like helping, right? And I went over there and I did. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but I did a thing where I put my finger up and I said, "That's it," so that everyone around can see that I'm telling him, "You've been warned." And then I walk away. No, when I walked up, the gal, husband's wife situation or something, she turns around and goes, "Do we have to go?" Right then I should have just said yes, because she's been in this situation so many times that she automatically knows, and she looks at me as an authority figure immediately, and I go, "Listen, this is it. This is one warning. Please, just keep it down." I didn't realize everyone around that table were like lining up to beat the shit out of that guy. And I went right back up and I go, "It's just a matter of time." And then you went through another joke, and then, "Asshole!" And he raised his hands up in his seat.
Oh, hang on. Important phone call. Probably bingo?
It is bingo.
It is bingo. I'm for this project, I'm listening to years old podcasts. And bingo calls regularly on the podcast. And I would hear my phone ring on the podcast, and I'd race for my phone. And I'm like, "Oh, no, that's on the podcast." Yeah. And then I'm like, "It's bingo," calling during the middle of a podcast right after I told her, "Hey, we're going to be podcasting, so don't call." She forgets in a minute. So it's so weird to hear bingo before the brain injury.
Oh, on the
old podcasts, yeah. Yeah, there is a difference, and it's not just the voice, because her vocal cords get fucked up during the intubation, during the life flight. It's just, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into the book. I mean, the project. Don't even fuck. It doesn't matter. They sent the wrong form.
So the guy almost immediately, just inappropriate, yells out, "Asshole!" And I don't even know how that, so I just walk over there, and then Hennigan's with me at that time, and we walk over there, and I go, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second outside? I just want to talk to you real quick." And I look down, and he's wearing a cunt cancer research shirt. The old
cunt
polo.
cancer awareness.
Cunt cancer awareness. And I'm like, "Oh man, of course."
God, I was
super
just
fan from
thinking
so
about
far
that.
long ago. And I go, "Hey, come out real quick. I'll have you right back in the showroom. I just want to come out real quick." And I realized that all I have to do is get him out that door, him and his gal out the door, and just shut the door, put my foot on it, and then they'll deal with him out there. Everyone knows what's going on. But I go out there and I start to say, like, "Listen, the reason," and she turns around and goes, "See, you've done it again." She goes, "Are we under arrest?" And remember, I am dressed with my short little tie, my purple hair standing straight up, a checked jacket, some ridiculous outfit, me in this fucking Laurel and Hardy-esque outfit.
Jaundice yellow button-up.
Hennigan is he's standing next to me, pursing his lips, trying not to laugh. And she goes, "You look, I understand exactly." She ran, I didn't say a fucking word. And I go, "Have a good night. You can't come back in the showroom." She said everything. And then we turn back in, and Hennigan goes, "Chaille, I need to get a picture of you right now, because I can't believe anyone thinks you are a cop."
Do you remember the last special, No Place Like Home? Some guy was so happy to get thrown out of that show too that you guys threw out.
Yeah. And I didn't see any of that show. The only time I saw any part of that show was when I was dealing with someone like that, or running through.
And
the
again,
room.
it was someone I didn't notice, because you're in your head.
He was so shit-faced, like drinking in the afternoon, going, "Can't wait for stand-up," and drinking Jameson. That's how drunk he was. Because to get in the Royale, out the front, there is like 8 steps. And it took 3 of us to help him down the steps. And then it's like, now what? Now he's on a street with traffic. Some of his friends came out and helped him out. But yeah, he was fucking shit-faced on that one. And that wasn't like a young guy.
Please keep that in mind, because we do have September dates that are starting to trickle out. Hopefully we can get the fucking Emerald Theater to answer their goddamn phone.
Is it still open? It's Michigan.
Yeah,
man.
they're doing like just the special event kind of shit. They're not open on a regular basis, and they did agree to this, but then Like, that's the only place I can, I want to work there.
That's a proper theater.
Yeah, but it's proper for our size. It's like 600 seats or 800 seats, but they have bars on every level. Yeah, so they got back to Hennigan, and I had to tweet it. Hey, fucking killer termites, get on the fucking Emerald Theater. Because, the last place we played, it's fine for a rock and roll venue, but it was all standing, and you can't. It's not good for comedy.
For
and I'm not shitting on the venue. It's not good for comedy.
The Token Lounge.
Yeah. It's a great venue, great people. Not good for comedy. I'm not shitting on the venue.
It's a rock and roll club.
Yeah, it's no one's dancing to comedy, or slam dancing probably was what they usually. No one's crowd surfing or.
It's a stand-up show. It's not. It's uncomfortable. Well, this is the thing. We've talked about this in the past. When it's a stand-up show, Doug is very hyper aware that you are uncomfortable, which makes him uncomfortable. So then it's hurry up and get the set done. Just blow out of there.
Yeah, and so that room had standing room only the last time you played the Token Lounge?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like they had no seats or anything like that.
But it's a dance floor, so if you're short, you can't see the show, and if you can't see comedy, it ain't that funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and people don't want to stand and watch it. I mean, like, what kind of things do you look for?
I was going
Fatigue sets in.
Hang on, I was going to go to you because you've just done some touring of fucking rock and roll clubs.
Yeah,
tell me some bad ones. I should have prepped you for this.
I think one of the worst ones.
Just say the city first. Maybe we'll guess the venue.
I doubt it. It was right outside of outside Dallas Fort Worth, somewhere like in between or on the outside. It was a strip club, and it was enormous. Like it was like a barn, and it was bad. It was so bad. They were doing like comedian stripper.
Oh my god!
And it was really awful. And
it was the 1940s.
It was a hostile audience.
Yeah.
And it was an all black strip club, and like Eric and I had played it, and we were debating whether or not it even qualified as an urban room because it wasn't a comedy venue. So it was like there was no way to really reach them because they were just confused by the whole ordeal, and it was just a weird place. Like they had a kitchen in the strip club, but it was just like it just was like a wall, and then behind the wall they just had a dirty grill, and then just like a shelf.
Shut it down.
A shelf of industrial salt and a loaf of bread, and that was their kitchen.
That's kind of like what I have set up downstairs. I had to take you to Safeway to go, what can you eat?
A rotisserie chicken. And I watched all the comics go up, and I knew the only way to get there, because I had to do a half hour, I knew the only way to get their attention was to strip. I knew that I had to do that. And so I went into it, and when I got on stage, I made a bet with the audience. I was like, I want to challenge you guys to something, because I didn't even want to kill. I just wanted their attention and their respect. So I said, every time
Do you know what a bad precedent you're setting right now for young female comics? I want their respect, so I took off my clothes.
But I set it up in a way where I had control over the situation. Where instead I didn't want to pander to them, so I said every time a joke bombs, I'll take off an article of clothing.
That's not pandering. That's setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, but I had their attention the whole time. Which is what I wanted. And so every time I bombed, every time a joke bombed, I would take off an article of clothing, and then...
She's dressed like the Michelin Man. Several layers.
But I got him a couple of times, and by the time I got down to my bra, the owner had gone over to...
You own a bra? I haven't worn it since I've been around. I thought those were divining rods. I'm gonna let...
I actually...
You want to wait for her to look up divining rod?
No, she was laughing. I want that...
I have a
Laugh to
quiet
stay.
laugh. It's not good for podcasting. Not
a good precedent
I will
again.
say I had bras, but they're expensive, and my expensive bras got stolen out of my car. But that's another story.
Before I forget,
sure.
now, I have to. You dumped social media, and I won't go into all the details, but you hated all your Twitter account, and my jokes are dumb, and then you tried to dump them, and then you could only dump 3,000, and there was 200 more. But that goes back to the beginning of your Twitter account, and you found one that was like horrific.
I found like a racist, like bad, like joke. It was not just like a racist joke. It was like a bad racist joke. It was really. I was horrified by it, so I deleted my entire Twitter. And at that point, I had already like deleted Facebook and Instagram. So I was like, oh, I might as well delete all of my Twitter too, because I panicked. I was like, oh, I thought I was deleting all my tweets, but it just deleted most of them and then bumped up the whole.
But you are a very well-respected comedian. Even Rogan, when I talked to him randomly the other day, he's like, oh, Olivia, I remember when she was like 16 and she'd come to clubs and like, she's fucking great. And then Hennigan says, it's amazing how few Twitter followers she has.
Yeah.
I go, I think she switched accounts, and then you told me the whole story. So please follow Olivia Grace, because she will be on the road with me one day headlining. I'll be opening for her at this rate.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's at Olivia Does Bits.
Yeah, and I gotta change that too. It's such a stupid Twitter.
No,
handle.
you don't change it now. You
okay.
Olivia Does Bits. You're stuck with it till you.
Bit. Yeah.
No underscores or anything, just straight through.
Just Olivia Does Bits.
Olivia Does Bits.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, you guys really helped me build
And
some
what about Facebook?
Facebook, I have Facebook.
Which is?
Olivia Grace.
All right, Olivia Grace.
Yeah.
Because more people use that. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
People have bigger dicks there with less, seems like there's less, I don't know.
It's still very relevant. We do
our
our marketing for the Stanhope store merch on Facebook, and it works. I mean, I'd be the first to say, like, if I didn't like it for whatever reason, because I don't go on Facebook, but Tracy does all the marketing for that, and it works really well.
Yeah, Hennigan, like Instagram, I know is a huge thing, but I got to figure that shit out.
On the next tour, I'll be Instagramming, and if you don't want to, and then I'll just do like we do with Twitter. I'll just Instagram stuff, and then you can re-insta it. I don't know what the fucking kids are calling it, but
I want to finish the strip club story if I can.
Yeah.
So you had dinner there, a salt sandwich,
A salt sandwich. It
grilled,
was so intense.
grilled. I'm the
Yeah. And I had gotten down to my bra, the one I used to have, and then Eric started giving me the light, and I looked at him and I was like, "What are you giving me the light for?" And so I got off stage in my bra, put my shirt back on, and Eric was like, "We gotta go," because there were these huge dudes that were like, "Who's her boyfriend?
Mind if we dance with your dates?"
Yeah, totally.
You know, and they thought Eric was my boyfriend, and like Eric was starting to get freaked out, and the owner, apparently what had happened was the owner went over to Eric and was like, "Hey, it's a liability thing if she shows her nipples here, and you have to stop her."
The police would never fuck with a black club.
Are your nipples not registered? Is that what it is? They have to take
I think that's what
some kind of a fingerprint.
I don't know what it is. I think the strippers like sign something.
Sure.
Well, if she's on stage, her nipples are pointing out witnesses down below.
I promise not to lactate on stage.
Yeah. And the two guys who they were coming over to like say something to us. Because I mean I had probably made them into a more horny, more frustrated crowd. And Eric was like, "I want to leave now." And then the two big dudes tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and one of them was like, "We thought you were fine. We just wanted to see your titties." And that was like probably one of the best after a show compliments ever. Because I mean, I had bombed for 30 minutes straight, but by my own design, you know.
Didn't you tell them don't laugh and you'll eventually see my nipples?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah, but it was nice to hear it from the crowd. It
Sure,
was nice
sure.
to hear that they were enjoying.
Fan mail is always great.
Yeah. So it was fun. That was a fun. I just felt better about it because I knew if I had done it the other way, where I was like, every time you guys laugh, I'll take off my clothes. I wouldn't have felt good about that story.
You didn't.
Oh
you
yeah,
did not feel like
I
you-
see. All right.
No, I get it now because if they laughed and you told them don't laugh and I'll take off clothes, then you earned that laugh.
And
Like
they laughed a couple
motherfucker.
times.
Yeah.
I was up there for 30 minutes and I only took off, I think, like 3 articles of clothing.
Oh,
So
right on.
yeah.
Did a tampon count? Is it like when you're
That
a
was their
kid?
ace in the hole.
When you're a kid playing strip poker, one sock should count.
Bracelet.
My watch, my swatch.
I don't know if this is racist or not, but I even did have you guys seen that clip of Bernie Mac on Def Jam?
No.
The one where everybody before him had bombed. And he made friends with the DJ before, and he says, every time I hit a punchline, I'm going to go hit it, and then you play a song, and I'm going to dance. And I did, like, this self-deprecating version of that, where I went over to the DJ, and I was like, every time a joke bombs, I'm going to say, hit it, like I'm defeated, and then you put on the loudest music you can, and then I'll strip. And that's that's how I got
Nice.
their attention and their respect. I don't know if that's kind of racist, but follow me on Twitter.
At Olivia Does Bits.
Yeah.
Olivia, I've told you this when you thought you were going to get murdered here. You went down the Brendan Walsh hole of, you guys just brought me here to kill me. I'll tell you that story another time. The listeners probably already know it. But you kind of trust us now, and you are honestly one of the funniest people. And you're fucking 23 years old. You've been doing this since you were
16.
16. Rogan said, yeah, I think she's like 17 years old when I met her.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just hanging out at the Improv, and he was really sweet.
Which improv?
The one in
Brea.
in Brea, yeah. I used to they would let me hang out on the weekends if I helped them hand out tickets for their, like, weekly shows.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do. I'd just sit there.
I
all
know
weekend
you
and
told me
watch.
where you grew up before, but I grew up in Fullerton, which is right next to Brea.
Yeah, I grew up in Villa Park.
Oh, really?
And I got arrested in Fullerton once.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do there.
Yeah, they got
Well,
me.
you're going to tell the story.
Yeah, I got a DUI in Fullerton.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore, do you?
No. After that, I was I was in, like, a bad place, and I was drinking a lot, and I just didn't care about anything, and so yeah, I got pulled over, and I spent the night in jail, and I was so drunk too. I was like, man, how does this story go? Hang on.
I think it was right there on Baston Cherry, where the Fullerton Police Department. It's like across from Amridge Park.
Yeah.
It's like the old school, like old area where like Fullerton grew up around that area.
Yeah, that little, like, downtown area.
What an honor to be incarcerated.
Yeah, and I had been drinking so much that night.
Where
And,
were you drinking?
Oh my God, this is
Downtown
funny.
Fullerton? All the bars?
No, we had this thing in the Orange County comedy scene called the Orange County Comedy Awards. That was kind of like a roast show where, like, everybody who was in the scene would get a trophy for, like, what they were good at. But it was,
I want to mention, if you look up Olivia Grace roast battle on YouTube, but that's where she made her bones, where she's kind of known. So please look that up at the end of this podcast.
We'll put a link
Olivia
in
Grace.
We'll put a link in the show notes for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking on YouTube or fucking Splatter Chat or whatever
It's
the
there
fuck.
too.
It's
It's there too.
all right. Yeah, Olivia Grace roast battle, killer. Go ahead.
So it was like the Orange County Comedy Awards party, and I'd been drinking a bunch. And I had my friend in the car. And it was funny. He was my passenger, and he'd won an award for best use of public transportation. And we were driving back to Long Beach, and I was pulling onto the freeway, and I saw the lights in my rearview mirror.
And the guns.
But I was so drunk, I was like, I bet I can still get away with this.
Oh yeah.
And the cop came over, and I rolled the window down a little bit, and he went, license and registration, please. And I went, I don't answer questions. And then he went, I'm not fucking around. And I went, okay, sir. And I just handed him everything. I backed down immediately.
How old?
I was 18.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Olivia's lived a good life.
18. With that kind of fucking gumption.
Yeah.
Olivia will be on us.
Talking the mic?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, Olivia will be with us for the maybe the entirety of the tour in September.
I hope so. I'd love to.
Yeah, Kristen Becker. I made the joke, and then I went, "That's a great idea," of Doug Stanhope and his all-girl band, but we're gonna have to work out the details. And right now, I'm in the middle of a project. Kristen Becker, I want on at least part of the tour, so we'll figure it out.
I love opening for you. Your fans are such a fun audience.
Well, we'll change that.
They're fucking great.
They are.
Kristen Becker is also at JT Habersaat's show in September, along with Olivia Grace,
Yeah, I had to bail out
Brett
of that.
Erickson,
Festival.
Andy Andrist, and Jeff Tate. So,
Yeah, Olivia's there. Yeah. That's just like September 27th, I think. Yeah,
In Austin.
when we put together this project versus the tour and where we want the tour, I had to back out of. I felt really bad because JT offered us a fucking great deal for the Punk Altercation tour. It's
we can do a live podcast, or we're going to tape a live podcast.
And
which is the first one we ever did.
I
was
hate
in
to
Austin.
bail out of fucking JT Habersaat. He's so fucking kind, but I had to. But Olivia Grace will be there.
I'll be there.
And if you follow her at Olivia Grace, Olivia Does Bits. I have a couple more notes.
Well,
Gump left. Our intern, who will be on an upcoming podcast, will take over his place.
well, a
liter-
dead tree could take over Gump's place.
No, his
To be
living space.
honest.
His living space.
Wow.
Yeah, well, he'll be on an upcoming podcast. Shut up. I love Gump. I walked Gump to Delta Counter at Tucson for his flight out to take care of his sick grandpa, and I tried to get him listed at 23 or 22, whatever he is, as an unaccompanied minor. So at his layover in Atlanta, someone would have to pick up this gangly young kid that's obviously kind of an adult.
Put him in a stroller, one of those three.
And he had a 3-hour layover, so they'd have to sit with him. And I didn't want to get that Delta agent in trouble, but I talked to him today. How's it going in Mississippi? And he closed the conversation. That was brief. I just wanted to check in on the kid. And he said, well, I got to go. I got to wash my feet before my sister gets here. Fucking perfect. You fell right back into Mississippi. Gump, we love you and miss you. I love you and miss you. Chaille actually said, Tracy, while you're out, get champagne.
I have some news.
She said, what is it? He said, I'll tell you when you get here. I love you, Gump. Adderall, I wrote that down. I wrote down Robert, and I don't have any idea why I wrote down Robert. So, hey, Robert, I guess that's a shout out.
Hey, thanks, Robert.
The fuck did I write down Robert?
I think Olivia said Indiana boyfriend.
Yeah, no, well, that's another
All right.
podcast. We skirted some issues.
Okay, good.
We're at time, right?
We're loaded, yeah.
Yeah.
We just need to talk about Patreon.
Patreon, yeah. Chaille, I don't listen a lot, and I don't like to learn new things. But Patreon is where like you can like just a fucking $1. We have 1 billion downloads a week. And one of you is on Patreon. The numbers that I'm giving you are skewed. But yeah, just fucking donate $1 so I don't have to talk about, I'm not going to point
No.
out. Yeah, I only want to do, yeah, just fuck that. Yeah, if you downloaded this, just do a Patreon thing. Donate a fucking $1 a podcast, and then we don't have to do
Not
shit.
even our first tier is just $1 for the month. That's $12 a year to subscribe.
That's a steal.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we're in our 7th year, right? Well, 6.5 years we've been doing this. All right. And honestly, this is just a way for us to not have to rely on advertising like we have in the past. I mean,
And if there is advertising, one of us me, Chaille, or Chad, or even our guest is strong about it.
But from the beginning, we've always said no to more things than we said yes, because they will throw anything at you to have you do it, and we will not do that. Doug has said no to sponsors because he did a bit about that sponsor years ago, and it would be hypocritical to advertise them now.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do a vodka sponsorship because I've told you all vodka is basically the same. I found this out from fucking liquor people that whiskey. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do whiskey.
So you're saying if you support the Patreon, you're supporting integrity.
Oh,
But we've had
that
fucking
looked good
Olivia.
on a windbreaker.
And it affects Chaille too. And you will understand as a comic, you just get one fucking tweet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and you know who you are, cocksucker. One guy says, listen, I've bought shit that I didn't even need from your merchandise. So why would I have to pay for Patreon to get an exclusive content thing? Well, that means you don't have to buy shit you don't need from the merch page.
You solved your own problem.
This pays for Chaille to do this. If there's no Chaille, there is no podcast. I can't figure out how to do this shit. Chaille had to figure out how to get Sonos in this quiet fucking house so Olivia and I can write without hearing each other chew. By the way, this is a big problem for me, hearing my chewing when you're across the fucking table. Yeah, I need Sonos. Chaille does everything we need. Chaille makes the backbone of this work, and Patreon, chuck in a couple bucks. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
And if that doesn't work, then
Well, at the end of the month, if we hit our goal, then we're going to do an extra podcast. And the extra podcast only goes out to the people that have actually subscribed to Patreon.
and
That's it.
That guy that set us off on this one fucking weird tweet makes us go, fuck these people. It's one guy. But there's also a million people that don't fucking jump up on Patreon for $1.
Yeah.
So
For the
chuck
amount of
in a
people
buck.
that download and the amount of people that have actually subscribed, we're building. Let's say we're working
you.
towards that.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
think we need to explain it, and we'll put a donate button on the webpage. And if you just want to do a one-time donation separate from that, that's fine too. But anything you can contribute would be great. So go to patreon.com/Stanhope Podcast.
Patreon is the useless merch of the future.
Yeah, we'll figure out another way to bilk money out of these cows.
Marketing wise, we'll work on that. But that's a good start. There are no wrong answers. Patreon, or we'll murder you.
At Olivia Does Bits.
You almost did it again.
Thank you.
Paused.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, follow her because honestly, one of the funniest comics ever. And you're just going to get better.
Thanks.
We had a long conversation till 7 a.m.
Oh, that was so fun.
And I tell you, the diarrhea bits you have. Well, and you sounded just like, again, at Brendan Walsh, where you thought we were going to murder you. And I go, if you start talking about this shit, and then I read you some emails I get, at some point I'll get to this guy from the Michigan State prison. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like,
Wait,
we won't bother you anymore. It's a long story. Remind me on Twitter. I actually tweeted about this guy, and I fucking love this guy so much. And he's like our guy in crazy guy.
Pennsylvania
Killed his mother. Wilmington.
Wilmington.
Not Wilmington.
No,
It's
West Virginia?
William and Mary. Williamsburg. Oh,
Vodka Soderbergh.
Vodka Soderbergh. Yes. All right. But this guy's fucking a great writer. Yeah, we take care of the fucking crazies as best we can until they go sideways on you. And then you go, all right, if you threaten my family, fuck you. But otherwise, yeah, we take care of the crazies. And I think we all are one of those on some level or another. Olivia Grace, Ggreg Chaille from at HomeStretch Foundation.
Foundation.org.
Yeah, but it's HomeStretch is FDN or FND. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, HomeStretch.
Oh, I was talking about the website, so they can just get all the information.
Oh yeah, just HomeStretch Foundation. Google it, figure it out.
And any
fucking
links you can
idiots.
get from the show pages. So
Yeah,
do it.
I love all of you, wherever you are, in your car, on a horseback.
Shout out to all our horseback listeners.
All of your cowboy fans.
Driving a bus, listening to this on a phone in a town where you cannot be on a phone while you're driving. We're thinking about you.
In a parking stall with a garden hose from your exhaust into the back window,
I'm Art Bell,
waiting for Doug to
and
sign
I'm
off.
assuming that rabbit that just ran by is a UFO. Click.